Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you shy? Do you struggle to talk with girls even though you're not bad looking? Do you feel that every time that you are by yourself alone with the girl, you can barely talk, you can barely say anything, you don't know what to say? Especially if you know that you're not bad looking and that you look at yourself in the mirror and you know that if you weren't shy, you'll be able to get more girls, and because you know for a fact that you can see other people that are less, that you perceive as being less attractive than you, but can pull more girls. Well, if that's you, this is the video for you. In this video I'll share with you, like, because little disclaimer, I used to be super shy too and struggling with girls. Matter of fact, I couldn't even like maintain eye contact with girls, right? But with the time I improved. So in this video I'll share with you some some tools that I use to be able to like be less shy, even though I'm an introvert, and be able to like talk with girls. Now, obviously, I'm not an expert, but I can pull my fair share now. Like, I can easily have a conversation with a girl and potentially escalate, even though I'm an introvert. So hopefully this video will help you. It's based on my own experience and also on some findings. Some research that I've done and something that I found. Let's get into it. So the first step that you can implement in order to be able to talk with girls even though you're shy is just to practice. So you have to engage with strangers and basically practice, right? This method is really useful because basically when you talk with stranger, there's no guarantee that you're gonna see them again, right? So it's less pressure. You can say whatever to them and like nothing's gonna happen, like they're never gonna see you again. It's less pressure, and also you can practice it often. You can do it daily. Like, for example, for myself, I used to ask stranger my way in the street. I used to act lost and ask them, yeah, where should I go, whatever. Also I used to talk with cashiers and ask them like, oh, how your day is going, like ask them how their day were going. So basically you can just say anything. Even if you go to a retail store, you can ask the people that works there if they can advise you on what you should get, or like whatever. It can be anything. The most interesting part about this method is that it's gonna make you talkative, right? Like, I noticed that like every time that I'm supposed to go to a party, when I start talking with stranger before going to that party, it makes me more likely to be sociable at that party, because it's kind of like a snowball, right? Like, once you start talking with people more and more, you become more social, and then in the future, later on that day, you're more likely to be social, right? Because since you already started talking with people, later on that day, if you go somewhere to a party and stuff, you're more likely to talk more, right? So it's really a good method to start talking more and be able to like practice. Now, keep in mind that here the goal is not to have a long conversation with stranger. Obviously, the goal is specifically to get you more accustomed to talking with stranger, and that's it. So even if you just say, hi, my name is Henry, or you just say, hey, how are you, that's already a win, right? Because the goal is really just to get into it, just to talk with people. Like, it's a win if you just say hi. This leads us to a second point, to be less shy when talking with girls, which is just to work on yourself, right? Now, the issue is that we are shy, right? And basically the issue is that we are shy because we are not confident enough, right? So the issue is confidence. So how can we get more confidence, right? Well, the answer is simple. We have to You have to be more confident by basically having achievements and also loving yourself. I know it might sound cliche, like love yourself, but if you don't love yourself, whatever you're gonna try never gonna work, right? Because this is the basis. You gotta love yourself. And how can you love yourself, right? Like, maybe right now you don't love yourself, right? Well, you have to do stuff to love yourself. Like, for example, for me it was going to the gym, starting making more money, and now I'm trying to learn a martial art right now. But for you it might be something else, right? It might be something different. So whatever it is for you, start doing stuff that you know that by doing them you're gonna have more respect for yourself. So you're gonna perceive yourself as more valuable, and therefore you're gonna act a certain way. You're gonna act differently when you talk with stranger and stuff, and it's gonna make you appear more confident and more attractive and less shy. So start working on yourself. The third way that you can implement to not be shy when talking to girls is simply to practice. And practice where? Practice with a mirror. Now this one may sound a little bit cringe, a little bit weird, but hear me out. When you go and talk to yourself like through a mirror, it's basically it basically enables you to see your body language, to see what you look like when you talk to people, and also to fix your tonality and yeah, and just practice catchphrases. So it's easy to do. All you have to do is go to a to the bathroom or whatever, and just talk to yourself, right? And practice your catchphrases, like stuff that you're gonna do. I mean, stuff that you're gonna say whenever you go talk to a girl or a stranger. Like it can be, for example, like practice pickup line. I don't know. Like it can be like, hey, sorry, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to let you know that you are absolutely beautiful, for example. Just whatever you wanna, whatever catchphrases you think is good, you can just practice it, so it's gonna be like more natural whenever you go talk to a girl. This leads us to the final point, which is simply not thinking about what's next, right? Because most guys, me included, whenever we go talk to someone, we overly think about what's gonna happen next, right? How are we gonna carry the conversation past saying hi, right? And this is really a trap, because it makes you overthink, it makes you stressed, and then you just freeze. You just don't know what to say because like you're just too stressed, right? Stop worrying about what's gonna happen next, because the truth is that nobody knows what's gonna happen next, right? Everything can happen, and you gotta put that in mind, right? You gotta keep that in mind, and whenever you go talk to her, you gotta hope for the best, but keep in mind that everything can happen, right? And obviously, depending on the setting, you have to have a set of questions. For example, if it's at the club, I mean, a bar, library, or the church, you have to have some questions that you already prepared that you can just ask to carry the conversation, or just to salvage the conversation, just in case, right? And when you're gonna ask the question, obviously she's gonna answer you, and from those answers, you're gonna have some information, and with this information, you'll be able to ask more precise questions and be able to build to create a common ground between you two. I mean, to identify a common ground between you two, try to make her laugh or whatever, right? And obviously there's nothing guaranteed. You might get rejected. I mean, you most likely will get rejected, which is normal, right? It's part of the game, but you have to do it if you want to change, right? Because if you don't do it, you're gonna stay the same your whole life, and it's really sad, right? It's better to take some L's right now, and the more you do it, and the better you get, like everything else in life, and you're just gonna be better. And at some point, like if you talk to, like, I don't know, 100 girls, for example, I'm sure that like at least 5 or 6 would be interested in like carry a conversation with you, right? So you just gotta be optimistic and just do it. Hope that this video was helpful. If it was, consider liking and subscribing. See you in the next one.